Mr. Trump, this is a message to the president. I'm here to talk to all of you that are shaking in your boots. What are we gonna do? That crazy man, he's the president and he don't like black people.
Look at my African American over here.
He don't like Mexicans.
They came in illegally. They're destroying our country. We're getting them out.
He don't like Muslims.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Maybe so. Who cares? We don't give a damn what he likes or what he don't like. The future is not his. The future is ours. Because he wants to be a king. President Trump is literally destroying the republic that the founding fathers wanted to guide and gird it against what they suffered in Europe from kings.
The nature of this administration is good for us. Because of Trump's way, he is an anomaly. There's never been no president quite like Mr. Trump. There's something that he's doing. Trump is destroying every enemy that was an enemy of our rise. Who's the enemy of our rise? Is it the Department of Justice, where we get none? Is it Congress, where you make a law that favors us and then you turn around and destroy it? Is it the media that has destroyed every black leader that stood up for us? Martin Luther King suffered it. Malcolm suffered it. He's attacking the media, calls it fake news. We have been the victims of some fake news.
Yes.
He's beating up the FBI. Go at it, baby.
Yeah. So now, if you look at Mr. Trump,
right.
Mr. Trump is a businessman. Certainly, he's done great things in the business world.
Got a lot of money from his dad that helped.
Oh yeah, his dad was a nice fella. He ran a little dusty work. And like
millions of dollars. We can start with that. That's pretty good.
Like Mr. Joe Kennedy did.
That's right.
You know,
booze, right.
White folk are allowed to be criminals and pass on money to their children to become clean. That's what Michael Corleone was trying to do. But Frank Lucas and none of our brothers who've done great in the drug culture, they were not allowed to have any money to pass on to their children that they could build on the era of the father that made something better for the children. But Mr. Trump is tearing away the skin of the onion of white civility. And the more he pulls the skin of that onion back, he's beginning to show something in the character of the whites that follow him, that they don't care what he says. He could say one thing this minute, another thing the next minute, and you could see that the man has a little problem. A little problem. But he is exacerbating the race situation in America. And I will guarantee you, if he becomes president, he'll take America exactly where America is heading. He'll take you there on a rocket ship. How can a man say, he's not a thug, he's a diplomat, he's a president, we'll go into Iraq and we'll just take the oil. See, that's the thug coming out. That's that part of the nature of the beast that's manifesting. Well, if he becomes your president, you'll be just like him. And you know what the scripture says? Pharaoh was talking before his demise, and he openly said, me and my people are wicked. And when you get leadership that is not rooted in justice, then they begin to make the people just like themselves. Be careful, America. You're headed into the abyss of hell. And if you make a mistake in choosing your leaders, maybe you'll go there faster. These are master assassinators. And I have to say to my president, Mr. President, please be careful, because you're upsetting a lot of people. You may win the election because the Democrats will at last put their hope in a billionaire because Mr. Biden can't handle it. What will you do if he gets a second term? What will you do? See? The hatred that's building for him because God allowed him to be president. Don't you think that God is interested in who sits in the White House that holds sway over his people that he has chosen to be his people? Mr. Trump, please, you mentioned in some of your writings not to denigrate those who are under your leadership, but you have nicknames for everybody, and you've said some rough things to your generals. Please, Mr. President, this is a country that kills presidents. It'll be the worst mistake that anyone makes to try to kill the President of the United States. He has a work to do. That's right. Does he? What kind of work does God have for him to do? He's doing it. Now back to President Trump coming to Chicago. See, you told Rahm Emanuel, clean it up, or I will. And you threatened my young brothers. Let me tell you something. My brothers are in bad shape. And I have warned all of you. I told you that the army was coming. I told you to get your act together and clean up your act, because they're coming with a mind to slaughter us. Have I said it? Not just for a year, but for 3 decades. I have been warning you about the government of America planning a war not only with a Muslim overseas, but with black people and the nation of Islam in America. Have I not done that? Yes, sir. Now, Mr. Trump, you can come and you can bring your army. But if you read this book and know what your people have planned and are carrying out against young black men, then you come. But I'm going to warn you, Mr. Trump, This is not a forsaken people. And the God that we serve has promised us that he would fight our battles. We don't have no gun to equal yours, but we got a God. Check out the West Coast. You never seen no rain like that. You haven't seen nothing yet. Hey, in the Middle East, y'all think that Dubai is a nice place to run and hide now? You can get in the hotel and order some liquor in a Muslim country. They might even have a pig foot there for you. But they woke up one morning a week or so ago in Dubai with 10 inches or 10 centimeters of snow on the ground in the desert. Don't you ever think that you can go somewhere and God can't get to you when he wants to make an example of you. So I'm saying to Mr. Trump, not being disrespectful, I'm going to talk to you about him now. Who is he? You can come, bring your army, but if you slaughter my little young brothers, watch what God will do for you, Mr. Trump, and for the country that you said you want to make great again. That's not going to happen, Mr. Trump. America will never be made great again. Her days of greatness are over. The God of justice has come. And America now has to pay for what she has done.
You know that Trump could not have ascended to be president without the permission of God? Don't you think Allah is interested in who the President of the United States is, since we've been sentenced to 400 years of evil from them, and this man is now the President? Don't you think God has something to say about that? But the question is, what does God say? Because he's been appealing to you. Come out. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins and her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven. Come out. Not me. This is the way you think? Yes, sir. Where would we go? That's right. Well, God, I don't trust you. But you trust a man that's been lying to you for 463 years? But you don't trust me? If I promise you land, do you think that I don't have the power to take the land from whom I please and give it to whom I please? That's easy for me. Now, you heard Elijah and you heard Malcolm. We didn't talk about integrating with white people. We talked about separation from them. Okay. You said, I ain't separating. I'm going to get mine right here. Okay. Let's go sit in. Let's have freedom rides. We're going to march. They whooped the hell out of you, put you in jail, cattle prodded you, and 50 years after Martin, where are you now? No progress. Oh yes, we've made progress. Because we can eat in any white restaurant and live in any white neighborhood. We paid a price for this. But every time you moved in, they were angry, they moved out. Every time you made advancement at their expense. Listen to what I'm saying now. Everything white folk conceded to us, you called it a victory. They called it their defeat. So when Mr. Trump came to power, he's the savior for the alt-right. The little white boy that you call a cracker, that's Mr. Trump's very faithful follower. And we done tracked Mr. Trump down. His father, Mr. Trump's father, grandfather, came to America, you know. He wasn't involved in the slave trade. He wasn't involved in Jim Crow. He just was a German white man who saw in America a way forward for himself. He had a son, I'm talking about Trump's father. Trump's father built Lefrak City in New York. Black folk couldn't rent in that place. Trump loves white people. He'll pat a black man on the head and maybe pat you on your behind. He may suffer from diarrhea, but he's also the groper in chief. And his people don't mind. Grope on, President. Grope on. Hey, man, you standing up now. Bless your heart. And the flag is on the field. And Kaepernick, with all his white showing, like Farrakhan, he takes a knee. And the others say, I'm taking a knee too. And Mr. Trump comes out, I long for the day that when they disrespect our flag, you would say to that son of a, you're fired! And with a lot of force, fired! He called him a son of a, and then had the call where black folk live in Africa. Some kind of hole, I don't remember the name. But a hole where there's a lot of excrement floating around somewhere. And they had the Nigerian president at the White House. And he's using him as a prop. And the poor president, I don't know how the heck y'all can do this stuff, you know. man insulting you. Then he got about $12 billion or more, and the president buying weapons. Y'all can't see, can you? Now look at this. See? You want to take down the statue of Robert E. Lee? You telling white people you can't fly the Confederate flag? What do you think these white folk think? And when that policeman pulls you over, see, his heart is to kill you. And you're going to see more and more of that every day now. Because God wants you out of here. He wants you to separate from your enemy. So he put Trump where Trump need to be, as a whipping wind on the dry bones in the valley. Now you're talking like this, you know. Man, it's kind of getting rough with that Trump. We got to do something. You're right. What you got to do? You got to unite and get busy to do something for yourself.
Mr. President, please be careful, because you're upsetting a lot of people. You may win the election because the Democrats will at last put their hope in a billionaire because Mr. Biden can't handle it. What will you do if he gets a second term? What will you do? See? The hatred that's building for him because God allowed him to be president. Don't you think that God is interested in who sits in the White House, that holds sway over his people that he has chosen to be his people? Let me just tie this up. See, all of us have made an agreement with hell. All of us have made a covenant with death. The pale horse of the revelation had a rider that was death, and hell followed closely behind. Everywhere the pale horse has ridden, death has come. Everywhere the white man has put his foot down on our planet, death and hell follow. Mr. Trump, please, you mentioned in some of your writings not to denigrate those who are under your leadership, that you have nicknames for everybody, and you've said some rough things to your generals. Please, Mr. President, this is a country that kills presidents. It'll be the worst mistake that anyone makes to try to kill the President of the United States. He has a work to do. That's right. Does he? What kind of work does God have for him to do?
So guys, when I listened to this speech, one of the things stood out immediately. This wasn't just a discussion about Donald Trump as an individual. It was much bigger conversation about the direction of America is taking and what that means for black people and other communities. The speaker argues that Trump is not the main problem, rather a symbol of problems that have existed in America for many years. According to this viewpoint, Donald Trump's rise to power revealed division that has been hidden beneath the surface. Issues like racism, inequality, political anger, and social division did not suddenly appear when Trump became president. Instead, the argument is that his leadership simply brought this issue in the open of everyone to see. Supporters of these ideas believe Trump exposed the real condition of America instead of creating it. So guys, there was also another point that caught my attention was the criticism of America leadership. The argument is that America has been presenting itself as a country of freedom, equality, and justice while still struggling with the problems such as racial discrimination. We have economic inequalities and unequal treatment under the law. From this perspective, Trump's presidency became a mirror that reflected these deeper issues to the entire world. The discussion also focused heavily on the black community. One of the strongest messages was that black people should stop depending too much on systems they believe have repeatedly failed them. Instead, the emphasis was on building strong families, supporting black-owned businesses, educating young people, creating wealth within their communities, and becoming more independent. The main idea is that real progress begins when people invest in themselves instead of waiting for government or politicians to solve everyday problems. This message about unity is something that many communities around the world can relate to. History has shown that communities often become stronger when they work together, support local businesses, invest in education, and help one another during difficult times. Whether someone agrees with the Farrakhan's overall message or not, the importance of community support is a topic that continues to be discussed globally, guys. So, another important part of the speech was the idea of accountability. The speaker argues that every nation eventually faces the consequences of its action. He believes America cannot ignore its history forever, especially issues connected to slavery, racial injustice, and discrimination, guys. According to his message, every country should honestly examine its past if it wants to build a better future. The speech also took on a prophetic tone. Farrakhan suggested that America is entering a period of major changes and that its position as the world's leading power may not last forever. He described current political conflict, social unrest, economic challenges, and international tensions as warning signs that the countries are approaching an important turning point. Whether someone views these statements as a religious prophecy or simply political opinions depends on their own beliefs, but it is clear that he intended his audience to think seriously about the future. One of the most direct moments came when he spoke about Donald Trump's personality. He warned against using military forces or harsh government actions to deal with unrest in black communities. His argument was that violence cannot solve social problems and that using force against citizens only creates more division, anger, and suffering. He believed that true leadership should focus on justice, dialogue, and understanding rather than intimidations, guys. As I listened to these arguments, I realized that this speech is really asking bigger questions that go beyond one president. How should a nation deal with its parts? Can people from different backgrounds truly unite despite deep disagreements? What responsibility do leaders have during times of crisis? And what role should ordinary citizens play in improving their own communities? These are questions that many countries do not, or not just the United States, continue to face today. It is also important to remember that people have very different opinions about Louis Farrakhan. Some people see him as a powerful voice who speaks boldly about issues affecting black communities. So, while the others strongly disagree with many of his views and statements, the same is true for Donald Trump, whose presidency continues to generate passionate support as well as strong criticism. Because of these, discussions like this often become emotional, but they can also encourage people to think deeply about politics, history, and society. In the end, I think the biggest takeaway from this discussion is not simply whether someone supports Donald Trump or Louis Farrakhan. The real lesson is that importance of asking difficult questions about leadership, justice, and equality, and the future of the society. Every country has challenges that need honest conversations, and every generation has a responsibility to help a better future, guys. So what do you think, guys? Do you believe Donald Trump is a president exposed problems that were already there, or do you think it created new ones? Do you agree with the message about community unit and self reliance? I want you to share your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Otherwise, I do really appreciate you guys for always coming back to watch my videos. And remember, guys, if you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscription button, and also you can comment, share, and like your video, this video out. Otherwise, I do really appreciate you, my people. Well, thanks for always coming back. Until I see you in the next one.